It's hot, so I'm not going to wear a shirt. So today, I wanted to speak about what we see, what we allow to enter into our eyes. And sometimes the universe, as we move forward, will start making those headways for us to transform. We'll just do a little nudge, hopefully in the mercy aspect, so we can transform ourselves and become better people. But one of the elements that I want to talk about is television. I was eating dinner with my mother the other day, and all of a sudden, NBC decided to show a bunch of roaches, and we were grossed out. We changed the channel. We had a discussion about being able to delete the channel off of the television because when I look at NBC, Will and Grace is leaving. I love SNL. A lot of these things I can watch on the internet. So removing from the television element and just not watching television, just the thought and idea of removing television from my life. Just oftentimes when I eat dinner, I turn on the television, watch the news, see what's happening really quickly. I eat dinner really fast or lunch really fast, 15, 10 minutes, blah, 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 blah. Okay, done. Move on throughout my day. So I'm not a, I should, it's another transformational tool to just sit down and enjoy the meal. But regardless, so then I move forward to say, well, I'm going to watch another channel. I'm going to watch one of the public access elements. I'm going to watch NHK, one of the channels that I appreciate, and to learn from that culture. And then all of a sudden I see a child. And I understand, the element of bringing awareness as to what's going on, Nagasaki, the situation there, and all those elements. But I don't really, while I'm eating dinner, I don't want to see anything gross. So at the end of the day, it comes back to me saying, maybe you shouldn't be watching television. Maybe you shouldn't trust what is being placed out there. And a lot of people have this conversation about fake media and fake news and how news is specifically biased to a specific element. And I think there's a certain level of truth to it. I think there's a level of truth in order because media is tied into the commerce, so there's a certain level of navigation as to what the powers that media want us to move forward to. But regardless of that, I'd like to eat. I'd like to gain more muscles and more weight. I'd like to, have a thing with eating. I don't know where it came from, but I need to eat. So, yeah, so please remove the gross things. I think can we go back to the time where we're thinking to ourselves, someone's gonna be eating while we're watching this, regardless. Let's go ahead and change what we're talking about. Let's remove the roaches. The tons of roaches in a hospital or whatever it was. Let's remove the dead child from the back of their brother. Maybe that'll move us forward. But I think that also it brings about a certain element in questioning about reality and what we accept and what we see as the future. I think the question has been, do I become outraged because of what's happening? And will my outrage feed what's happening? Or is everything that is happening good? Those are very moral questions. What is the light of the Creator? What is the message? What are we here to do? Those are, there's suffering in the world. And of course, we need to bring awareness of the suffering, but at the same time, does bringing awareness of the suffering hinder healing the suffering because we're giving attention to the suffering? All those questions. What are the answers? What are the answers to remove the suffering? For me personally, when I look at immigrants and the whole immigration situation, I think about Jesus. That's me personally. I think about Jesus and what would Jesus do? Jesus would be like, why do we have countries? Do you have a couch? How much food do you have? Can you get rid of that one car? That's how Jesus would look at it. What can we do to bring these people in? And Jesus would go to the place and be like, hey, why y'all shooting at each other? Your people are leaving. You're not gonna end up like with nobody's. Nobody's gonna want to come here, and then you're gonna be like, I almost got him, that one other person in the country because we were riddled with violence, so and drugs and all those elements, So having the discussion, having of what our impact throughout the world is. So what do you think? I'm growing. Are you growing? I hope you're growing. Yeah. I want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful eternal time.